Well, basically, the Lord spoke to me and said he really isn't that fond of couch potatoes for Jesus. He wants us to get out and take it one step at a time. And what he told me, what used to hold me back all the time was the overwhelming need that was out there and feeling like, well, if I can't go out and meet the whole need, then what's the point of being out there? And what God told me was basically no deed is too small or insignificant when it's done in the name of the Lord. That what we need to do is just take that first step. We started serving after we had the opportunity to be involved in Second Saturday Serve. And Rick Croyle was doing a ministry at Fresh Start where we were going in helping to sort through clothes and different things like that. And he had this idea of, hey, wouldn't it be neat if we could serve these guys a breakfast? And then he thought, well, that Tim Scott guy, he's got a nice little setup. So he gave me a call and presented the opportunity to come out and be involved in Fresh Start. Well, you know, of course, any wise man is going to check with his wife first before he commits to those kind of things.
Tim came to me and said, you know, what about this? And we have this opportunity, and I said, let's do it. It just dropped in my heart. It was like, yes, that is exactly what we need to do.
And so that's pretty much how it got started. Was I had an old 3-burner Camp Chef with some other little utensils, and my wife and I went down to Fresh Start and served up. Our first time, I think we served around 50 people. And it's just an opportunity to reflect Christ's love to others in that he desires that even their basic needs are met.
When I see Tim here cooking and putting smiles and filling everybody's bellies, I'm very thankful for organizations like Fresh Start. Can't leave anybody behind, you know.
You know, it's like it says in James that faith without works is dead. And I want to show the God I love and the people that are around me that my faith, that Jesus is authoring in my heart, is alive. And the way that I show that is by getting off the couch, getting out there and being involved in whatever capacity God calls me to be involved in. That may be 1 day a month, it may be 2 days a month. The only way for a person to discover what it is that God's called them to do and what abilities that He's given them is just to get out and get involved and give it a try. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, then just go rediscover. I remember when I first became disabled, it wasn't a matter of grieving over what I had lost. It was more of a matter of me discovering or rediscovering what my new abilities were and what I could do. And in getting out and being involved in ministry or volunteering in your church or in your community, it's a matter of taking that first step, getting out and discovering what it is that you can or can't do. But just don't worry about it. Life has got to be bigger than yourself. In order for me to grow as a man, in order for me to grow as a father, in order for me to grow as a neighbor or a friend, I've got to get outside of myself and give to others. And in doing so, when people step out, they find that they grow in ways on the inside that just can't really be expressed by words, because it's a joy. It's a sense of fulfillment. It's a sense of accomplishment of knowing that you got outside of your own little world and you gave yourself to others in service and in love and in compassion. You get to know people. You get to see a side of the world that you never saw before. And you get to realize just how blessed you are as a person in where you're at and where you live. It's not because Tim is such a great guy and a nice guy where I'm going to go out and do all these great things. It's that, you know, the Word of God says that as you grow in the knowledge of God, you'll want to do what He wants you to do. You get this sense of brokenness to understand that there's more to life than just me, that there are others. There are other people that are in need. There's other people that need what God has put inside of me. I mean, it's an honor to know that God has put this call to encourage, this call to motivate. And then there's this fear of this sense of responsibility that you have to go fulfill it. But I can't let that fear hold me back. I can't let people or anything hold me back from going out and fulfilling that purpose in my life, so that when the day comes to a close, I know that I've given everything that God has put in this cup for my day of going out and encouraging people. It's just that joy, that motivation of knowing that I have done what God has called me to do. And I've touched the lives of others.